I'm here with Antoine Martin from Pix4D. Antoine, how are you?
Hi, very good. Thank you for having me.
So what is new with Pix4D?
Yeah, so let me give you a little bit of background about Pix4D. Is really we turn drone images into 2D maps and 3D models. Because professionals, and here we are at a commercial drone event, want to use drones as another tool in their toolbox. And the cameras shoot images that we can transform into quantifiable and measurable product, such as orthomosaics and 3D models, from which volumes and elevation can be derived. So a surveyor or an engineering firm can really do their work. So we have a lot of customers. We've been in business for 5 years now. We are the leader in the market to provide what some call a photogrammetric solution that transforms completely automatically, just with a couple clicks, from images into a map and model. So what we have new coming up that we just announced very recently is lower price points through different type of licensing software. So now you have a product that's called Pix4D Mapper Mesh that starts at $50 a month, where people can get started. They can use that in conjunction with an app that we have. It's called a Pix4D Mapper Capture app that you can download on iOS or Android. And this app, which is compatible with a number of models, can really take the images for you and control the drone so that it takes the images at the right location, so that you have good input to provide a map or a model. And we've had a lot of improvement over the last 3-4 weeks. We can do double grid missions. You can save your maps in advance. So let's say you're going to a remote location where you don't have a lot of internet access. You can actually prepare where you will fly and have a background map in it. And then that is sent through our cloud for cloud processing. And directly, without using any computer, you can have on your tablet or your phone a 2D map of the area, and then you can go back in the office and really do accuracy measurement. So that is very exciting.
Excellent. So talking about measurements, you're talking about areas, volumetrics,
distances. So the use case is very large. We have roofers who need to install gutters on a whole condominium complex, and instead of climbing and measuring, which presents a lot of safety issues and time, they can now fly a drone and process the imagery and measure in the software how many feet of gutters they need to have. But traditionally, I would say surveyors who really rely on accuracy to be able to build a hotel or put a slab for construction, they really need accurate results. And our software through the desktop really gives you that control that you need.
Does the processing happen in a cloud, or does it actually happen on your own computer, on your own server?
So both. On the laptop and on the desktop, you can actually process your own data, so you don't need to share, you don't need to upload, and you have really full control of the data. But through our app and also our desktop, you can actually send it to the cloud for processing, and then you can visualize things. So I would say both. So we really address the different needs. So law enforcement doesn't like the cloud, for instance. Areas which are remote, there's no internet access. So we really cater to those different use cases.
Gotcha, wonderful. What about a training? So if somebody's somebody's looking to get into mapping or orthomosaics or 3D modeling, do they just go on your site and sign up for tutorials? Is there a help site to it?
Exactly, you said it. So we have a site called support.pix4d.com. We have how-to videos and articles where people can learn on their own. Even you can check out YouTube. We have all our webinars on YouTube. But what we started to have, which has been extremely popular, especially here at InterDrone, we had a workshop where people would come and learn, and we had a new user workshops for people getting started, and it was half a day. We had over 80 people who really get an in-depth look at what are the features and how it works, and what is really accuracy. And we also provide private training for different entities. It can be a large company, the government, or very small people who need just a 2-hour WebEx to really, for us to really look at their data in depth. So we provide a lot of training, and what we have realized is no matter how easy you can make the software, the technology behind is so complex. And when you will build a hotel, on a site, you want to make sure that you have the right data. So you need to have the confidence and the control over the data, and we can provide that through additional training, exactly as you said.
Excellent. So, and the maps and the models can be, to my understanding, created from both photographs and video, correct?
Correct. We prefer photos. The reason why is, imagine you have a video, you can extract frames from it, but the resolution will be not as good. So let's say you have HD, that's 2 megapixels. Let's say you have 4K, it's 4 by 2, which is 8, which is not as good as having a 16 or 24 or even more megapixels. So it all depends on the resolution that you need. In addition, some video, if you grab the frames, often you'll have some blur in the photos, which introduces some noise in the model. So we always tell people take images, but we have some people who have a video, that's all they have, and that often works. But I would say it depends on the grade of accuracy that you need. So if you're going to do a big engineering job, video is not going to cut it.
So when it comes to inputs, it's pretty much like everything else, garbage in, garbage out. So you really want to make sure you have a nice, sharp images. Your capture app, do you have to use the app to actually acquire data, or you can use any of the planning app, or can you just free fly the things?
So all of the above. The app is something I would say fairly new, about 2 years old. Traditionally, people have been having their own mission planning software, and what they have is they have JPEGs or TIFFs. Often they are geotagged, or you can have the GPS log that you can put in the software. The app makes things easier, especially for new users, where it will get the right amount of overlap for you. And for more complex shapes, like going around a building or doing bridges, you can actually fly manually through the app. And the advantage is that the app will take the photos. So all you have to take care of is flying safely and covering the area, but we'll take the photos based not on time, but on location.
Okay.
So that's you really have all the options. I would say depends on what you're surveying, your ability as a pilot, and the difficulty of the job.
Excellent. So since it works with the video, it's not really necessary to have the exe file there, the GPS coordinates for the camera, correct? The program can actually calculate that or render that?
Correct. As a matter of fact, if you take your phone indoor and you want to map a sofa, you can do it. And there's no GPS.
Okay.
So you don't need to have it, but keep in mind that if you don't have any information about location, two things will happen. Is first of all, you will not have any sense of scale or location of the object. And second, it won't be as good as if you have a GPS information. So if you're going to do any type of real commercial work, just have the GPS. If you don't, we can make it work. And video is a case, because from a video, you don't have GPS information. But we have actually have a tool that is called scaling that most people don't know about. Where you can do relative accuracy. So let's say you measure the length of the sofa or whatever you want to survey, and it's 6 feet. You can put in that measurement into the model, and we'll scale it through the entire model, and then you can calculate the volume of the sofa.
Okay.
Without any GPS. So after the fact, or you have a lot of options to do that, and that's been very popular, especially for roofs and relative accuracy projects.
So I can see we actually use some of the mapping in your product to create a model of this archaeological site in Brooklyn, New York, that wasn't going to get preserved, was going to build over. And one thing that I did appreciate is the ability to not only use the drone footage or the drone photographs, but also the interior to create a model. So it's not only used with the drone. You can actually create a model of the exterior as well as the interior in one project, correct?
Absolutely. I would say this is more challenging to do, because then you deal with how do you connect the interior and the exterior. But that was one of our keystone projects in a castle, exactly as the one you pointed out. It's on YouTube. It's called Chiron Castle, where we have modeled the interior and exterior. As far as drones are concerned, 99% is exterior. But to us, it's just pixels. No matter the camera, no matter the focal, no matter what carries it, it works. It's compatible. So you don't need to have a specific model. It will work.
So do you guys have a free trial for your software?
We have several options. So first of all, we have a free version. It's called Discovery. You can put in your images, you can process, you can look at the point cloud. It's limited into what the outputs are. Most professionals want to have a lot of outputs, such as elevation, orthomosaics, and we have a free trial for 15 days. That's automatic. You don't even have to send an email to request. You just sign up with a username, you do request trial, and it will give you for free 15 days to Pix4D Mapper Pro of the full software. Each license can work on two computers, and that free trial is worth over $100. So it's a very good thing to get started and pretty much use it to your advantage.
What are the major differences between the Pix4D Mapper Mesh and the Mapper Pro? Is it just the outputs, or is there a resolution difference?
It's not the number of images like some of the software. It's not the resolution. It's the outputs.
Okay.
So I would say go online and just look at the different outputs. Between Mesh, we have another product called AG, which is kind of in between the Mesh and the Pro, and then we have the Pro. So we have different flavors based on what you do. So we'll have a solution for you.
Thank you very much, Antoine, for your time. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Pleasure talking to you.